Hello everybody and welcome to Brand Up, the weekly show about social media and branding. I am Matthias Mazur, and in today's show we have some amazing stuff I want to share with you. I'm basically going to give you and open up the vaults to my business, my social content strategy. So I'm really excited to tell you about all this. Welcome to everybody on Periscope. We're live on Periscope. If you have any questions, just let me know. Okay, very good. So today is episode 2 of Brand Up. So every week we come out with these shows, and the goal is really to help you get more visibility, increase your brand awareness, get more sales using social media. So I'm gonna start off like every week. By the way, so we have a book of the week. Every week I talk about a good book that I enjoy. This is a book I read probably about 6-7 years ago already. Really like it, so we'll go over that at the end. Just keep it here. I know you can't see the title. That's kind of the whole thing. I'll talk about it at the end of the show. And we're gonna start off today with 3 stats. So some really cool stats that I pulled up. 3 stats, very simple, and a conclusion. And a conclusion, kind of like a call to action to really, open your mind to what's going on right now in social media. Not only in social media, but just like the way we interact. Okay, because social media is just. It's just basically the way, it's the terminology we use to define what's going on online pretty much right now. So let's talk about the first stat. I found this pretty interesting. So as you know, Facebook is huge, right? 1.4 billion users at the moment, and 1.4 billion is a lot, but what's interesting is 1.4 billion online users are on Facebook, and that represents 48% of all internet users in the world, right? So almost half the world's online population is active on Facebook, which is nuts when you think about it. I mean, one site, 50, almost 50, 48, but by the time you watch this show, maybe if you're watching this show a few weeks or a few months after we've shot it, it's maybe over 50%. And if you look at what Facebook is, I think actually I read a really cool article about this. Facebook is working with Google. I saw this article probably a year ago already, so there's a lot of stuff happening. They basically want to deploy, maybe they've actually already started deploying drones that would hover over areas in the world that don't have Wi-Fi and be able to beam Wi-Fi. So their goal is really to give online access to everyone in the world, which is insane when you think about it. I mean, it's anyone in the jungle will have access to Facebook. So, but today 48%. So if that stat is out there, that's probably over 48% of the online population is on Facebook. So what does that tell us? If you're not on Facebook, you're basically invisible, right? Because especially if you're watching this show in a country that has broadband internet, and you're not on Facebook and your business is not on Facebook, you're nowhere. So that's the first thing. First stat, half of the world's online population is on Facebook. Number 2, this is pretty interesting. 75% of Facebook revenue comes from mobile, right? So mobile advertising, which I think is fascinating because, a lot of people think that desktop is the best way to convert leads into sales, which, by the way, from experience at the moment, so, August 2015, we get higher conversions from desktop advertising. And if you're doing ads on Facebook, you need to split those two platforms. Basically, you want to have one campaign that runs on desktop, and one campaign that runs on mobile, because people's behaviors are completely different. I mean, think of the way you behave when you're on your phone on Facebook versus on your computer. So some products sell much better on desktop. Most products still sell better on desktop, and some products sell essentially on mobile. So it's still very interesting because mobile is Facebook's highest revenue. What's interesting is I really think that when you create a new campaign on Facebook, Facebook includes mobile in the targeting, right? So this is, why wouldn't they, right? It's genius. When you create a new campaign, by default, Facebook is gonna include mobile in any campaign you do, because they know that there's more exposure. So that means there's more clicks. And even if it's less targeted clicks for you, the advertiser, Facebook makes more money. So what you want to do is you want to split campaigns between desktop only and mobile. Just because behavior is very, very different to, mobile behavior is very different to desktop behavior. So think about that. 75% of Facebook revenue comes from mobile advertising. I'm willing to bet a lot of money that a big percentage of that 75%, a lot of that income comes from small advertisers who don't know that advertising behavior and consumer behavior is different on mobile than it is on desktop. So if you're one of those people just putting everything in one campaign, activating in Facebook everything, so right hand side, desktop and mobile, you definitely don't want to do that. You want to split, like I said. And I think that Facebook's making money off people who who aren't aware of that. And look, it's a business, right? Facebook, they have huge costs. They have they're public now, so they need to make money. If you're the CEO of Facebook, why wouldn't you put everything together? Because the average advertiser doesn't know. The average advertiser just put together a campaign because maybe they saw a show like Brand Up, for example, talking about Facebook advertising. So they said, okay, cool, I need to use Facebook, so I'm going to advertise on Facebook. But you want to split mobile and desktop. So that's very interesting. So 75% of Facebook revenue comes from mobile advertising. And that's just because more people are on mobile. More and more people use their phones. For example, I just got this iPhone, right? I've had this iPhone for it's my first iPhone. I was always on BlackBerry. I was a very hardcore BlackBerry user until I just realized that I can't do anything with the BlackBerry just because app developers aren't considering, BlackBerry's platform as something they need to develop on. So there's, not even close the amount of capabilities in apps with BlackBerry versus iPhone. So I switched to iPhone, and look, there's a lot of stuff I don't need to do on my computer anymore. I can Skype, I can chat, I can have conference calls directly with the iPhone. Before I had to be on the computer. So everyone's transitioning more away from computer more to mobile. So again, think of mobile. That brings me to the third thing I want to say today, which is 88%. This is a cool stat, by the way. 88% of Twitter users are on mobile, right? So say 90% of Twitter users are on mobile. So these two stats alone show that there's so much, so much potential that's already happening now on mobile, which means for you that you need to have your website optimized for mobile. If your site isn't optimized for mobile, or if your presence online isn't optimized, you're just wasting and throwing money, leaving money on the table, really, because that's where people are right now. So you need to be on mobile. If you're a small business owner now and your team, your tech, your developer doesn't hasn't optimized your site for mobile, today or tomorrow, call him up and say, hey, we need to be on mobile. The site needs to be on mobile. So ask your tech team, is your site, your presence optimized for mobile? Because that's where people are. That's the stats for this week. 48% of internet users are on Facebook, 75% of revenue, Facebook advertising revenue, is on mobile, and 88% of Twitter users are on mobile. So you need to be on mobile, you need to optimize everything for mobile. Good.
Go to MatthiasMazur.com to watch the full episode and connect with Matthias on social media. See the links in the description below.